So technology might enable 1,000 connections for all of us, but you and I, just like Jesus, we don't have the emotional horsepower to handle all of that. And sometimes I think our frustration with friendship is rooted in that misunderstanding. We think more is what's missing when sometimes it's actually less. I saw this comment this week, normalize using words like colleague, classmate, acquaintance, neighbor, client. Not everyone is your friend. And if you're anything like me, you kind of instantly balk at that. It feels rude not to call everybody a friend. And yet at the same time, there's something really profound there, isn't there? Friends are important precisely because they are rare. And Jesus had followers, he had disciples, but he also had friends.
I want you to think about how often someone comes to your mind. How sometimes randomly you'll think of someone you know, or you knew, or you love. It's curious how that happens, right? I want you to think about how when you flip through pictures and profiles on your phone, you don't just read and observe. You actually remember some of these people. And I wonder, do you ever assume that others are doing that for you? There's a little wonder in that, no? And I wonder what it would look like if, like Paul, we cultivated a practice of gratitude when this happens. To daily be mindful of the divine presence you see and experience in these people that skirt and accompany your life, or maybe they used to. And couldn't that practice infuse those relationships with a new awareness of God's kindness and nearness, and offer a healing tonic for your loneliness some days?
When you are in pain, when life doesn't make sense, when what used to work for you just doesn't work anymore, the friend that you need is Job. Job will not settle for cliche, for quotes on Instagram taken out of context, for simple formulas of faith. The truth of Job is that Job isn't actually even about suffering. I mean, sure, suffering is a major theme in that book, but to be human is to suffer. That's not up for debate. What's up for debate is just how honest we can be when we suffer, and how much we can shoulder the honesty of others in their suffering. And honesty is not the same as the truth. Honesty is the work of trying on language for our experiences and our feelings until we get to the truth.
Because we need something more than just agreement in our friendship. Now, don't misunderstand me. There are very real deal breakers in the world. White supremacy, homophobia, people who don't take your story seriously or hold it with the dignity it deserves. People who feel the need to fly a Nazi flag anytime for any reason. It's okay to set your boundaries. In fact, it's necessary that you enforce them. But what can happen is that when those hard lines that we absolutely should hold on to keep getting pushed as much as they seem to right now in the world, it can create so much anxiety and so much fatigue that we can start to feel like we don't have the capacity for any disagreement, or any vulnerability, or any intimacy with our friends. And what happens is we end up with a pool of shallow relationships that I think leave us feeling pretty hollow. Intimacy, vulnerability are what create the space to be known, but they are also the context in which we learn how to navigate our differences as human beings.